Welcome back to Just a Bit Offside. I'm Fish.
K-Dog.
It is our recap of Championship Sunday, baby. AFC, NFC Championships. Let's kick things right off with the NFC. That one was aired first. It was 3 p.m. Eastern. The Eagles, the number 1 seed, were hosting the number 2 seed San Francisco 49ers. Now, Brock Purdy has been on a roll, 10 games in a row that San Fran has won. He was started 6 or 7, I believe, in a row.
I think it was 7.
As a rookie, just incredible, but he got injured early in the game. Like, he got rocked really hard in the elbow.
Yeah, he was throwing, and it just basically, boom, like it was like, you could just tell it was like, that hurt.
So he came out, and we should mention that, of course, the Eagles were favored, but it was close. I think it was a 3-point spread.
Yeah.
It's in Philadelphia. We'll also reveal the results of our predictions here on the show, but Purdy had to come out, and then there was a name that apparently he's a journeyman. He's played for a lot of teams. I never heard of him, though, and that was Josh Johnson.
Josh Johnson.
That sounds like the title of like a Disney teen show where the kid's a private eye.
Yeah.
It's like Josh Johnson.
Private eye.
But I think he's played for more teams than Shaq's has inches.
Impressive.
There you go. That'll happen. That just happened.
Just saying. So he came in and he did not play well. Shockingly, he didn't play well.
I'm enjoying all the memes on the internet
About Josh Johnson?
Just Johnson, and they're like waking people up when they're sleeping, and that's like him getting ready to go, getting him to go into the game. Like his face is like, you what? What?
I'm going in?
Over there? I don't know, guys.
With the Eagles defense, right?
Brock, come on, man.
Just loosen up that elbow, man.
Come on.
Rub some dirt on it.
I got some Voltaren in my bag.
You'll be fine.
Just rub it all over it. You're good to go. I don't.
So this is on top.
I don't know
of
where my left cleat is.
the poor 49ers. Trey Lance, game 1, injured, right? Garoppolo did a great job for the 49ers and broke his foot.
Yeah.
He's out. Or is his ankle? I think he broke his foot.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Brock Purdy stepping in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Playing really good. San Francisco, number 2 seed. You're in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
Elbow.
Yeah.
Josh Johnson comes in.
Yeah.
He gets rocked, goes into concussion protocol.
Yeah, he got hit pretty good.
And then Purdy has to come back in, and it's all handoffs.
Well, you should have just done that the entire game. Just keep giving it to McCaffrey, and just
because he played well.
Yeah. And maybe if you can throw it 6 yards, then you go Debo 6 yards, McCaffrey, Debo, McCaffrey, Debo. And then boom. That's it.
Little Kittle.
Yeah.
Close.
It'll
3 yards.
It'll take you a while. You'll use the clock up.
Yeah.
Right? And you'll eventually score a touchdown. It'll take 13 minutes, but you're using the clock up. You're doing what you got to do. You're good to go.
And even make Christian McCaffrey even that more talented. He came in and called a few plays at quarterback.
Yeah.
as well.
That's Wildcat.
But then Purdy came in and they basically just handed the ball off, but you're already down so many touchdowns at that point.
Yeah.
So it's kind of useless with all these very short passes that his elbow could take and basically just handing the ball off 1,000 times. It was not going to, when you're down that many touchdowns, you got to air it out. And unfortunately, San Francisco beat themselves with injury right there starting at quarterback. But we should talk about some of these stats. What were some of the stats for the game?
Purdy had 23 yards.
Yeah.
Josh Johnson had 74 yards.
Hey.
2 sacks.
2 sacks. And then he got knocked out.
The big thing is, though, you could tell Hurts is still hurt.
Yeah.
He only had 121 yards, no throwing TDs. All 4 TDs were rushing, including one that Jalen Hurts ran in.
Yeah.
And he had a sack. But you could tell on the receiving end, like 121 yards is not a lot.
I think
but San Fran's D, too.
He took a really big hit, and it took him a minute to get up. And I think that's where his shoulder started to bug him a little bit because he looked pretty decent in the beginning part of the game.
Yeah.
But they didn't really need to with the ground game being so good.
Yeah, the ground game that's all it matters.
Miles Sanders had 2 TDs. Boston Scott had 1.
Yeah.
How many yards, total rushing yards?
Well, that was the funny thing, too. I thought just this morning, and I was like, it's got to be 250, 260, 270 in rushing.
Yeah.
It's only 148.
Really?
Yeah, Miles Sanders only had 42 yards. Two touchdowns.
I thought it was more.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns on 42 yards. Gainwell had 48, and Boston Scott had 21. They all had TDs, rushing TDs. There was very little on receiving. AJ Brown had 28 yards. Devonta Smith had 36. Now,
but you can't really. It's San Francisco's defense.
San Francisco defense was first all year in basically every single category. Like their defense is phenomenal. So, and then the 49ers didn't have much going. Like McCaffrey had 84 yards rushing.
McCaffrey is the whole offense at that point.
TD 22 yards receiving. The funny thing is, the entire 49ers team had 81 yards. McCaffrey had 84 yards rushing, and because Debo lost 9 yards, so it all worked out in the wash to a nice even 81. So
the Eagles did a great job keeping San Francisco's offense in check, but San Francisco's defense did a great job as well. Nick Bosa, insane star defense.
He's insane.
For the 49ers. Got hurt early but came back.
Yeah, he got hurt on the sideline. He got hit by a player. I think it was his own player, just taking another player out. He was on the sideline and got taken out.
But he came back.
So he came back. San Fran definitely unraveled a bit. They had 3 fumbles. They had 11 penalties.
Yeah, they had a lot of penalties.
You could just tell by the third quarter, they're like, this, let's fight. Let's just fight.
Yo, there was a brawl.
It was like a scene out of Slapshot. It was like literally. They actually cut, and NBC caught it, and they were putting the foil on the bench. You could just see the guys were like,
Hanson brothers.
Here comes the fourth quarter. Oh yeah, and they were just like.
Now a San Francisco player did almost like a WWE choke slam a dude.
Yeah, that was nice. That was a good move.
And then
I can't believe he got ejected for that.
And then it was a melee. Like there was a lot of players coming off the bench, which you're not supposed to do. There was a lot going on, but San Francisco was very frustrated. They knew they were going to lose, and honestly, it was all due to injury. There's no way to compete and get points on the board when you have Jalen Hurts versus an injured Brock Purdy and then a concussion Josh Johnson. Like it's not the 49ers' fault that they have so many quarterback injuries. Because if it was a healthy Jimmy G, healthy Trey Lance, even a healthy Brock Purdy, you have a way better shot than you do with Josh Johnson. So,
with the numbers that Hurts put up, a healthy Purdy, I think it would have been pretty interesting.
Yeah. Or I think Jimmy G too.
Or Jimmy G. Yeah, nobody knows where Jimmy G is. I heard rumors going into this game that Jimmy G was fine, that he was going to be able to back up Purdy, is what I heard. And then there was no Jimmy G. I don't know what's going on with that. But,
interesting.
But having said that, Eagles got the win. A win's a win. That's all that matters.
We'll take it, baby.
Hurts has got 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Regardless, I mean, the Eagles are beasts. That's all there is to it. I think it would have been a closer game with Purdy, but again,
final score?
Eagles defense. I mean, I don't know.
31-7?
31-7.
31-7.
31-7.
So, Eagles dominated. San Francisco, a lot of penalties, a lot of injuries. They just weren't going to get it done. But hats off to them and their team for the season, because the way the season started and Trey Lance going down, they lost to the Bears. All of that. And they turned this season around and had an amazing season. The number 2 seed right to the NFC Championship game. So they will have some work to do for next season, and we could briefly touch on this, but the rumors are that San Francisco be a very prime spot for Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers to land in free agency, because Tom Brady is from the Bay Area and Aaron Rodgers played for Cal. It's possible that you could bring in a veteran like that, and you've already got a wicked offensive team like Kittle, Ayuk, Debo, and now Christian McCaffrey, and an insane defense. You bring in a veteran quarterback. I think you're going to the Super Bowl next year.
I like, and I think this is a great thing that we do now in society, is that we find excuses for these players to go, well, Tom Brady grew up in San Francisco.
He did.
The fact that he grew up in San Francisco, I think he would like to play for that team. Well, what do you think? I think possible. Tom Brady's smart as and he'd go to San Francisco because of the head coach. Because of their offensive line. Because of the defensive line. Because of McCaffrey. Because of all the receivers. That's why I think he would go there. Not because it's like, summer. I grew up. When I was a kid, I used to play marbles just down the street. So it means a lot to me. No, it would be like,
my dad took me to the games, and Joe
if he grew up in Cleveland, he's not going to play for the Browns.
Yeah, that's true.
All
right.
So
you got me there.
Like, seriously.
But it's a wicked team, so.
Well, that's why you go there. Like, when Brady picked Tampa, he picked Tampa because it was strategery.
Yeah.
He was like, that division sucks, right? Look at all the weapons we have.
Yeah.
We'll pound this division
and
out.
they brought in some people. Yeah.
He said they gave him whatever he wanted. He goes, I need my O-line, this. They gave him whatever he wanted.
Gronk?
He knew exactly what he was doing. He brought Gronk around. He was living in his garage. He's like, let's go. Had a bag, no problem. 20 minutes. And it was like, he got what he wanted in Tampa. Brady's smart. He's going to go. He's not going by emotion. He's going where it makes sense to play. He wants another goddamn Super Bowl, and he could get it in San Fran.
He could. Yeah. So we're gonna.
He's not gonna get it with the Raiders. Stop talking about that.
No, but
Josh Jacobs, by the way, is a free agent.
Aaron Rodgers could go to the Raiders too. Listen, we gotta talk.
But can they pay Brady and Josh Jacobs? I don't think they can. I don't think the Raiders can. We should do a show on this.
That's what I'm saying. I was just gonna say that. Yeah. We have to recap the championship Sunday, so we're gonna do a bonus segment about possible landing spots for Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady in between now and Super Bowl. We're going to do a bonus segment, so make sure you stick around for that. All right.
Fine. I got off topic.
AFC Championship was next. I
think we need to do a bonus show on this game.
All right.
About all the refs
blown calls.
Because honestly, we'd be talking for hours about both sides.
This
just ridiculous.
Started off crazy because of Patrick Mahomes' ankle. So after the Chiefs beat the Jags, he had a high ankle sprain, and the Bengals just destroyed the Bills. The Bengals were favored. And then Patrick Mahomes' ankle got better, and he was telling people that. And then it flipped. The Kansas City Chiefs were actually the favorite going into this game. And the Bengals were the underdog, and the Bengals were going, no. And they used words like, instead of Arrowhead, it was Burrowhead.
Oh, yeah. There was something about the mayor. What was going on about the mayor? The mayor of Cincinnati said something.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know what that was. We should look into what the mayor said. I don't even know what that's about.
Now, therefore, I, Aftab Pure Hall, mayor of the city of Cincinnati, do hereby proclaim January 29th, 2023 as They Gotta Play Us Day in Cincinnati. Thank you.
The Bengals are really confident and cocky. They went on the road and destroyed the Bills in the snow. And you have Patrick Mahomes with a high ankle sprain. And it was Travis Kelce tweaked his back.
His back was messed up.
Right before that game. So it was, this really could have gone either way. It was in Kansas City because they were the 1 seed. But honestly, the Bengals have been playing great. So I was very excited for this game. I thought it'd be a little higher scoring. But it looks like the defense, especially Kansas City's defense.
That's what you text me.
Came out hard.
First quarter, I grabbed my phone. I see you're like, when did Kansas City get a defense? I was like, I don't know, because they're phenomenal right now.
Yeah, especially that one crazy defensive player. I think Chris Jones.
Yeah, Jones was just like, they were even talking about. They're like, he's just gonna do it all on his own.
Yeah,
he was, and
he did.
He did. It was just like, it was crazy.
Now, with all that being said, before we get to all the fourth quarter shenanigans and tomfoolery and blown calls, there was a bunch of other stuff that happened in this game. Mahomes' ankle did seem like he was fine. He actually wasn't even limping. He did take a couple of hits and ended up limping a bit. But he was able to actually make some throws off balance, just doing what he does to keep this game tight. What were some of
those throws were just like,
it's nuts.
Both and Burrow too. I mean, that T. Higgins touchdown from Burrow was like, that was like a perfect throw. And there was another one where it was perfect. I think it was to Hurst, and he just missed it.
It hit him in the helmet.
It was unbelievable how he got that. But
Burrow is. Don't get me wrong. Even though Cincinnati did lose this game, it was 23-20 Chiefs. Burrow had some insanely good throws, but he got sacked too many times.
5 times.
Because of the replacements on the O-line. We actually thought that was going to be the issue in the Bills game because of these 3 replacements on the O-line, and that didn't happen, but it did in this Chiefs game. Yeah, he got sacked 5 times. All right, some of the stats that we have.
I don't think it's fair. I think Burrow's played pretty solid.
No, the throws are amazing.
Yeah.
But he did get sacked 5 times.
No, but I'm just saying, like, he is getting lit up a bit today.
I thought he played great.
Yeah, people are crapping on him, and I don't think that's fair. I think he played a pretty solid game, and you're right. His O-line wasn't doing the job, and he was trying as hard as he could.
I don't think it's
Kansas City's
fault.
defense was great. Even that one pass to T. Higgins, he was double teamed. It was tapped, intercepted. I mean, if you're going to get intercepted like that, what are you going to do?
There's nothing you can do.
It's not like the Dak Prescott interception. He actually signals the other team and goes, 21. And then you just, boom,
I got you. Yeah.
It's a rocket, like right to him.
Yeah.
You know, if you're throwing it to T. Higgins 60 yards down the field, it gets blocked and then
tipped,
and then another receiver gets it. You got to take that interception.
That's not your fault.
You can't just sit there and go, that's on me. It's like, no, that's on great defense, and T. Higgins tried the hardest he could. So I'm just saying, don't crap on Burrow. So, all right.
So stats.
Burrow, 270 yards, TD. That was the one to T. Higgins. Amazing. 2 interceptions, 5 sacks.
Yeah. And
both interceptions, I don't think were his fault.
I don't think either interception was his fault. Yeah, you're right.
Mahomes, 326 yards, 2 TDs, 3 sacks. So again, Mahomes did get hit a bit, and you saw when he was getting hit, he was kind of like, okay.
That's when his ankle started to give him some trouble.
Yeah. So,
now, this game was pretty back and forth. It was really tight. It was 20-20 in the fourth. But we do have to mention this one play. Like, I was shocked at the Andre the Giant-sized testicles on the offensive coordinator for the Bengals. Going for it early in the fourth quarter.
Oh, yeah.
On 4th and 6 and pretty deep, like it was around midfield or even in their own.
Yeah, you don't want to give the Chiefs the ball there.
And they were like, no, we're not punting. We're going for it. They went for it on 4th and 6, and it wasn't even short pass. It went to Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
He was double teamed.
Oh, yeah.
Double coverage in between 2 defenders. I was absolutely blown away at how amazing that play was.
That was an amazing play, actually. Yeah.
It was just a crazy going in the fourth there, though. There were so many blown calls and so many things that went the Chiefs' way. I don't know how many chances that they gave Patrick Mahomes on that final drive.
Yeah, I know.
Where it was holding or...
Yeah, it was constantly
oh, wait, they missed the pass? All right, holding.
Yeah. Well, there was that third down play where the far line ref, called, like he threw his flag, but he was way off. Yeah, like basically top right hand screen, like he's way off.
Nobody could hear the whistle.
Nobody could hear the whistle. They did the play, and Mahomes missed it, and then they called it back.
And the Cincinnati coach was furious,
but it did get blown dead.
Yeah,
the play did get blown dead, but nobody heard it because it was way up on the top right hand side of the field. So,
but at that point, if they didn't hear it and the play continues, I don't know if you stop that.
Well,
I know the rules, but it was a lot of BS calls. That one, yes, the guy did blow the whistle and nobody heard it, but there are some holding penalties. There's one in particular that really bothered me, and that was a pass interference call where the broadcast booth has a referee, Salvatore, an expert to weigh in on calls, and he even said this was not pass interference.
That's not a playoff call.
It was literally like a hand on the waist and then went for the ball. It shouldn't have been a call, and that went against the Bengals, again giving the Chiefs more yards. We're at the spot of the foul. It was absolutely just a garbage call. I'm not a Bengals fan. I'm just calling it like I see it. Clearly, I'm an Eagles fan. But I thought that was BS. And then the biggest mistake by the Bengals was, and this wasn't a ref call, this is a horrible decision-making by a defensive player. Patrick Mahomes had scrambled, which shocking on his high ankle sprain to begin with, and was already out of bounds when the player pushed him, giving them the 15 yards they needed for field goal position with like 4 seconds left, and that was the game. I felt like the refs didn't help get to that point, but that was definitely the defensive player's fault for giving the Chiefs that kick.
Yeah, it was just
That was a poor decision.
Yeah, I mean, even with you this morning, I was like, I'd like to say that it was like his forward momentum took him, and he couldn't help himself but stopping. But
if you look at the
when you look at the play again, Mahomes is already clearly out of bounds. You could have held up. That was almost out of frustration.
Even if you didn't use your hands, and let's say you couldn't stop yourself, but you know that you shouldn't hit him, and you try to pull up and you fall and you hit him, that's not a penalty.
Yeah.
It was the fact that he literally shoved them and they were already out of bounds. And that was senseless because you then gave him 15 yards, just enough to be within field goal range. And that was it. Chiefs win by a field goal.
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't great.
Wasn't good.
Wasn't great. Now, with that being said, the run game is an issue. I mean, Kansas City only had 42 yards running.
Yeah. And Pacheco actually, he didn't get a lot of yards, but he played well. But they did not have a rushing game.
Yeah, you got to get that run game going for the Super Bowl. Basically, that's what I'm saying. Other than that, I mean,
what else I was disappointed in?
Yeah,
Mixon.
I saw him scrambling a couple times. Couldn't get many yards at all. No, they were covering him well. Marquise Valdez-Scanlon had an awesome game.
He did.
116 yards.
But he had to, because we had to talk about the receiver.
There was no
injuries.
receivers. All the receivers were out.
So, am I pronouncing it right? Kadarius Toney went out right away.
Yeah.
And then Mecole Hardman, it was his first game back from injury, and he got rocked and got re-injured.
Yeah, it was not great.
So Juju got hurt.
Yeah, his knee.
So hats off again to the Chiefs. Of course, Travis Kelce is your biggest weapon. Anyway, he got the opening touchdown.
78 yards of TD.
He was great. So Kelce is always a beast, but you lost a lot of your receivers. That might come into play in the Super Bowl as well.
Yeah. Well, they got 2 weeks.
Yeah.
They got 2 weeks to see what happens.
See what happens.
See what happens in 2 weeks.
Any other stats you want to talk about?
No, I mean, other than that, we pretty much covered everything. I thought, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins both had a pretty solid game.
Yeah, they did.
83 yards and 75 yards.
Yeah.
I don't want to say the Bengals got screwed on like out of the game. I think they got screwed out of overtime.
Yeah, I agree. I think when
the calls went both ways all game until the fourth.
Until the fourth, and then every call, I don't know how many chances they gave Patrick Mahomes on that final drive with BS calls. And again, I'm not a Bengals fan. I don't have any skin in the game with that. I just felt like it was very favored towards Kansas City after the game was equally called the whole game.
Yeah.
In the fourth quarter, every call went towards Kansas City, and it should have gone to overtime when the Bengals came up short on that drive to kind of run out the clock and get their field goal. They were forced to punt.
Yeah.
And then everything went Kansas City way, and it really should have gone. It had their chance in overtime with the new overtime rules, and that didn't happen.
Yeah.
But I do feel like the Bengals had an amazing season. Their season also is not going very well at the beginning.
No.
So they lose the opening game to Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I think they lost. They
did not have a good opening record.
Yeah, their first 4 games or something. I don't even know. Were they 1-3? I don't even know exactly. But they weren't looking great. Yeah, people were saying, "Oh, it's the Super Bowl hangover and all that kind of stuff."
Wow.
Bengals are beasts. They're
great. Yeah.
Honestly, I tip my hats to Kansas City's defense.
Yeah.
I think Kansas City's defense,
especially Jones,
that was the star of the game. Was the Kansas City defense? They really smothered Burrow.
Another thing about that was their star corner went out early, and they had rookies playing cornerback.
Yeah,
and they stood up. Yeah. They played really well.
A couple dumb penalties, but then completely made up for it after that one interception. That was the big. Well, there was a couple calls that was like, God, they were bad. Anyways, whatever. We don't want to get into it. There was just, anyways.
Chiefs pulled it out. And then what I didn't appreciate, though, is that when they got on the mic after the game, Travis Kelce, really full of piss and vinegar and cockiness, and said, Burrow had my ass.
Well.
And but you could be a little more gracious, and but wish them a great game.
But again, the problem is, now in Kelce's defense, Cincinnati was going in there with a full
cocky as
they
well.
They were cocky as hell.
All right.
I mean, they were calling it Burrowhead. They were this. We own them. It was just we've won the last.
Well, they did win the last 3 games,
but all 3 of those games were decided by a field goal. So you didn't blow them out. So
That's true.
They did come in pretty cocky. So if you're going to get a little Kelsey juice all over you, you know, you got to expect that to come your way after that, you know? Sorry, just saying.
Now, so the Eagles are taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. It's the 1 seed versus the 1 seed.
Yeah.
No surprises or upsets or anything really in the playoffs. So 1 seed versus 1 seed, and it's taking place on February 12th. Super Bowl Sunday in 2 weeks. So we'll have some bonus segments. You'll have to tune in again as we do our Super Bowl prediction show, as well as a bunch of bonus content like our Where's Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers going to land in the offseason. Also, our predictions for these matchups. I had picked the Eagles and the Bengals.
Yeah.
So we each got one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in our season-long matchup, I said you get 5x on these. So
it's a washout.
no, you got 5x on the picking Kansas City.
Yeah, so but you got 5x.
No. You get 5x. I only
5x.
get 1.
Oh, okay, then I officially win. All
No,
right, it's over.
You're still down.
We're done.
I think I was up 9 or 10. Anyway, B Money will do the math.
It's
for
over.
us.
The math's already been done. I win.
So you got a +4 on that by me getting 1 and you getting a ×5 on your pick.
I don't need your pity points. I've been throwing I've been throwing it the whole year.
The whole kit and caboodle on the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, yeah, because you're taking the Eagles for sure.
I'm of course going
And
to take the
Of
Eagles.
course, taking the Chiefs.
There you go.
Absolutely.
We'll still break down the show and do a full prediction show before Super Bowl. So make sure you tune in for that. We really appreciate you guys so much. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and follow Just a Bit Offside on Instagram for more bonus stuff. Can't wait for Super Bowl.
Let's go.
Eagles, Chiefs.
Boom.
We'll see you again next time.
Peace.